This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
No one should have to choose between their own safety and their pets. But nearly half of domestic abuse survivors delay leaving because they can't bring their pets with them. Purina is helping to create more pet-friendly domestic violence shelters through the Purple Leash Project, so survivors and their pets can escape and heal together. Visit Purina.com/purple to learn more.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
Coming up this week on the Course of Life podcast, recapping golf headlines, including some Muni Greens, a Japan showdown, and an update on Tiger Woods, plus the future of Bill Belichick, NFL glee from our favorite teams, and a baseball tradition unlike any other. Plus this week's guest, a favorite on the show, Elizabeth Diane Veith. She just got back from the Golf Creator Open, and she's got some life updates as well. Great checking in with her. And we got life updates, a pumpkin Snickers review, and a whole lot more on a loaded Course of Life podcast that starts now.
Hello, interwebs, and welcome to Course of Life. I'm Michael, he's Alex, and let's head to the other side of the world. There was a lot of golf in Asia this weekend. Let's start with the PGA Tour and the Baycurrent Classic at Yokohama Country Club. And Max Grayserman, after just missing out on last week, not being able to raise the trophy.
True.
He lost again. By inches, by literal inches. He needed just to hole out on 18 to force a playoff, and he missed by inches. So the win goes to major champion and gold medalist, Xander Schauffele.
That's right, who I think, let's run it full back. He won that gold in Tokyo. So that's a fitting full circle moment right there for Xander, who had some family in attendance as well, too. And you mentioned it. Max Grayserman had an eagle hole-out opportunity to enter a playoff. It was one of the all-time butchered commentaries ever by Craig Perks. I'm sorry, I got to call him out because Grayserman's approach shot was up in the air, and Craig Perks like, oh, this is out to the right, not even close, but he's had a great week. It proceeds to roll right up next to the cup and almost goes in for the playoff. But nonetheless, Grayserman one short, like you mentioned. Xander getting another W internationally. He's had a knack for winning some international events in past years, so not surprised to see him get another one.
Yeah, big win for him. There were some big names, of course, out there at Yokohama for this tournament, including Xander, kind of crowding up the FedEx Fall. I feel like guys like Xander and Colin, who still is in the top 50 of the FedEx, and Brian Campbell and Hideki, and I get why Hideki's playing.
Right.
But I feel like some of these guys in the top 50 just shouldn't be allowed to play in the FedEx Fall.
You want them to sit.
Yeah. Do we really? Yeah. Am I wrong with that?
No, I understand. It's the angle is these guys have already shored up their 2026 schedule completely. There's not really much that these guys can do at this point in the year to make their 2026 schedule any better. Maybe just, step aside and let the guys who need to grind out the points. Sure, I get that. He decided to make this appearance. I'm not sure how many he's going to be playing in the next few weeks, but it is always interesting to see a guy who's kind of got everything set, still teeing it up in these fall events. We kind of previously thought these would just be reserved for kind of the tier 2, tier 3 PGA Tour players. But Xander went over there and scraped up another win.
He didn't want to be like Jon Rahm, who announced that he's done playing for the rest of the year.
Yeah, Jon Rahm is he's in a weird little spot now. He just wrapped up his first full year. I saw this, Michael, since turning pro in 2016, where he did not have a win anywhere. No live, no PGA Tour, no major, no nothing. So yeah, interesting crossroads for that guy too.
Look, I bet he'd have a lot more opportunities if he played on a crowded schedule. There's an event every weekend on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, you only get 14 cracks at live.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right. So the LPGA, also over in Asia, they were in Shanghai for the Buick LPGA Shanghai.
Yeah, and we had a little issue with the green condition. You hate to see this. I don't like shining too much light on this, but the green conditions were less than ideal. Brown spots all over, putting stats thrown out the window this week for sure. There were some bumpy reads. The rest of the course was in much better shape, but it was definitely not the most seemly look aesthetically for the LPGA's debut of the Asian swing. But nonetheless, there still was some fire. And as always on the LPGA, just a shit ton of birdies too. I
mean, this was a crazy weekend, Sunday finish, really. Yep. So if you remember last month at the Kroger Queen City Championship, Gino Thiticule had a horrific 4-putt collapse on the 18th hole to lose that tournament. Well, she came from 4 shots down with 5 holes to play to force a playoff with Minami Katsu, and in a 5-hole playoff. Before claiming the win and becoming this season's first 2-time winner on the LPGA.
Yeah, that's the real funny stat at the end, is we've been talking about the crazy parity on the LPGA with the streak of different winners, and Gino finally gets win number 2. But we can just say it, start to finish, she has been the most consistent player on the LPGA Tour throughout the season. She really, honestly, and she would tell you she should be at like 4 or 5 wins right now. She hit hand to God blown a few tournaments this year, so she should have a higher count than that. But yeah, breaking up the parity a little bit with her second win, very consistent ball striking, and finally got the putts to drop in a furious run, like you mentioned, to get the title.
Yeah, so excellent for Gino. Not so great for the greens over there in the start the Asian swing, as you said, but
not ideal. No, but yeah, she's in that spot now where, I mean, you mentioned it, like player of the year's got to go to her at this point, because I'm not really sure if there's anyone else in contention that's going to pass her for maybe win number 2 and 3. And then look more impressive in the last 30 days. So it's got to be her at this point.
I mean, she's obviously now with 2 wins, the top of the CME race. She's, has 12 top 10 finishes, more than anybody else.
That's a lot, yeah.
So, yeah, right now, depending on what happens over the next few weeks, Gino's your player of the year. We'll see what happens. But that's what it looks like. Let's talk about Tiger Woods.
Oh boy! I mean, whenever you say that, it's like it's kind of a heavy-handed introduction to the next segment here, because
I mean, look,
Tiger Woods,
has more turns under the knife than he has professional events played in the last few years. In the last few years, back surgery. He announced back surgery number 7 the other day had occurred. No timetable on return or anything like that. So
and this scary 2 words of ruptured discs.
Yeah.
That's not good.
So Charlie, who's he going to play with at the PNC?
Oh, interesting angle there. You're skipping to December here. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that was the tiny Tiger Woods calendar. For whatever was happening with him health wise, we would still see him twice at the Bahamas and at the PNC at the end of the year, no matter what was going on. Right.
Well, do you think that they're going to fit him out with some sort of? There's 2 options here. One is an exoskeleton. so that he can still be out there and playing.
Yep.
The other is, which is actually would be a great way to showcase the ways to make golf accessible to everyone, is to put him in one of those units that'll stand him up for someone who can't stand. That'll stand him up over the ball so he can swing. And then also actually give him one of those clubs that you just hit a button and it shoots out a piston and hits the ball.
Yes, like the robot we saw in the 16th hole at TPC Scottsdale that made the hole in one. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, so, I mean, whatever it takes to get Tiger in your field these days, right? You know?
I mean, we just need him. We just need him on the course right now. Right?
We just need his corpse walking around the course for a little buzz in December.
The PNC is not going to get national coverage if Tiger's not in the field.
So who will Charlie Woods play with? Well, I don't know. I mean, first off, I know he's probably even more upset than Tiger about this news. I know Tiger's brokenhearted about this news, but Charlie desperately wants to win the father-son with Dad. It doesn't seem like he's going to have the opportunity to do that in December. So I don't know, maybe another GOAT, maybe like Michael Jordan or Tom Brady can tee it up with him in Tiger's place. How about that?
I think Jordan or either would be good. I think the best option for Charlie to win is for him to get adopted by Bernhard Langer.
Yeah, I know. Really, I mean, if you're just going off recent form, Bernhard and Jason Langer are the dynasty of the PNC Championship. Yeah. So yes, if there's any hope for Charlie Woods to notch a win in the next couple months, that would be how. But yeah, Tiger again, another setback with the back. Just when you think he's fully fused, just when you think the procedures are done, when he's finally in a place where he's swinging comfortable, it seems to happen again. And you see this with a lot of athletes, Michael, just on the grander scale. You see this in different sports. You've seen this with Will Zalatoris in the last few years, who's gone through a lot of different back surgeries. And that is just a crippling part of the body to have operated on over and over again. For a guy that swings the way he does still at his age, it's just troubling. There's no way around it. We're sugarcoating this with a little comedy, but it's a sad situation for Tiger, and we do hope that he finds some sort of normalcy with his back in the near future. We've talked about a lot the kind of change in Tiger's personality over the last 10 years or so. Yeah. And how he certainly is having a lot more fun on the course, but we still see him going out there and trying to hit the ball like he's 20 years old. Yeah. The question is, at what point does that finally click in his head and he realizes he's not a kid anymore and he can't try to play the game that way anymore? You have to start shortening the swing and not going for length and not trying to kill yourself every time. And that's okay. I think maybe part of it, because it was was it this year at the Masters where he said, this may be my last one. This could be my last one. He threw that open-endedly, yes. Yeah. Which the fact that he was just saying that, I think also just shows to his maturity as he's aged as a player here. So I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. Opportunities few and far between. It just dawned on me, like, we're not going to have him for the TGL season as well, starting in the holidays in January as well. So you miss it on that. And then now we're ticking the clock on about 14 months away from turning 50. There were little remarks and murmurs on Twitter in the last few weeks that there's a world where Tiger Woods could enjoy life in a golf cart at 50 on the PGA Tour Champions. But now even that falls into question again as we wait for his rehab. Yeah, I think we'll be lucky to see him 4 times a year at majors and or the PNC. That would be a big quota at this point. I think obviously this next year, I think over under events for Tiger Woods. We've done this before. Okay, so I feel like it's too low. I was going to go 1.5 over under 1.5. Oh God! Oh no! Yeah, you're right. I mean, and that one is next year's PNC. Yeah. Oh no! You already scrapped the majors. Wow. Gone. Jeez, tough times. He's probably not gonna be at Augusta. Dang. Let's be honest. Probably no Philly for PJ in May, and then there it goes. Yep. We're in the summer. Yep. All right, so now that we've killed Alex's hope and love for the next year and Tiger ever playing again, let's talk about other things going on. It's October. Alex, you said, as we know, the greens were brown and just not that great over in Shanghai, but I think they were better than your green in your backyard. Yeah, did you see the eerie reel I posted on Instagram set to grim music about how brown my backyard is? It's that time of year, everything's dying. I mean, we're mid-October. It's 92 degrees every single day here in Austin, Texas. And the weather, the shout out to the meteorologists in Austin, Texas, right? You want to find yourself a nice, easy job where you don't have to do a lot of thinking, or you just you be a meteorologist in Austin, Texas right now. It's a copy and paste forecast, and they pretty much declared that they don't think there's any rain for the rest of October. They've given me a 20-day forecast with no rain for the rest of October. So yeah, tough times for the backyard scene. We're doing all the rain dances. Send any rain you can to Central Texas.
I'll send you some of ours. I think it's been raining here for the last like 3-4 days.
That's what everyone's saying in every other part of the country except me right now. Yeah. So yes, it is fall. There are Halloween plans. We haven't fully finalized the costume yet, but we do have a Friday Halloween. And I know for people of our age, it's like, listen, if you're throwing a Halloween on like a Tuesday or Wednesday or like a Sunday or Monday, there's 4 or 5 days of the week where I'm not really going to entertain a full night out for Halloween. But if you throw it on a Friday, I may make a little bit of a plan. So we're still finalizing the costume. I'll have it to you by next week, though.
I'm going to go as a disenfranchised millennial living during the fall of capitalism.
Yeah, that's going to be really easy for you.
Surprising, I don't need to go out and buy a costume. I already got it in my closet every day.
Lovely. That's pretty much it. Quiet life updates. The fall rolls on, and football season as well, which we'll get to in a little bit.
That's right. Let's switch over to Tuned In to share what we're tuning into outside of the world of sports. I finally, Alex, got and watched Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay.
And just to recap, I don't know if I shared this back when the movie was out in theaters, but I went to go see it in theaters, and like 20 minutes into the movie, the power went out. And they kicked us all out.
Yes. Okay. I vaguely remember that. Yeah.
I finally turned it on Disney Plus and watched it. And the
power went out?
No, that would have been just the stars aligning and telling me not to watch this movie. No, it was, I thought it was hilarious. It was very good. Classic Deadpool in every way. And my wife walked in at one point during the movie and saw Gambit played by Channing Tatum and was like, oh my God, it's Gambit. Nice. Spoiler alert, by the way. Very good. Highly recommend if you like Deadpool.
Love that. And by the way, people want to know, inquiring minds, when the power went out at the movie theater, describe what happened and what was the procedure. Did they walk you out? Did you get a refund? How did that work?
So we all sat in the dark for a while.
Okay.
Wondering what was happening. Finally, someone got up and went out to find someone and came back in and said, the power is out. They don't know when it's coming back on. But they're giving out refunds. Well, they didn't really give out refunds. They gave me a card that said I can use it to get a ticket. So
right, like here's your store credit. Here you go.
Which is still sitting in my wallet. So there you go.
Nice. Well, perfect segue. I was going to talk something else, but I got to bring up Channing Tatum because my wife actually did something very interesting this past week, Michael, which you'll appreciate. The theater near here, Flicks Brew House, every once in a while, they do mystery screenings for $5.
Okay. So essentially, you don't know the movie?
You just buy a ticket.
Nice.
They basically told her, hey, this is a new drama comedy that is yet to be released. And you can just do a $5 mystery screening. So my wife and a friend of hers went. They didn't know what it was. And speaking of Channing Tatum, it ended up being Roof Man, starring Channing Tatum, which just came out. Channing Tatum, Kirsten Dunst, Peter Dinklage leading the cast. She said it was good. Not quite to the level of I would have maybe spent the money to go see this, but she enjoyed it. Lots of humorous points throughout the movie. I thought that was interesting. She's more brave than I am doing something like that, going to a mystery screening. But it worked out for her in the end.
I would do a mystery screening as long as it wasn't some sort of like gory thrasher horror film.
Right. I think they get the little tidbit knowing like, okay, this is a drama comedy that is yet to be released. It's like, okay, how bad could that be, right? You know?
For $5? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So she saw Roof Man for $5.
There you go. Not bad. All right, let's get to the turn and this week's guest. It's really the third host of this show. In fact, she has hosted this show with Alex before.
True.
And she's back on again, fresh off the Golf Creator Open. It's Elizabeth Diane Veith.
Yeah, this is an event that a lot of people were curious about. People saw it on social media, and we're talking with our favorite recurring guest who was there to see it all. Next up, she's our favorite check-in from the mountains of Colorado, and she just got back from the Golf Creator Open, a first-of-its-kind event. She's a mom, wife, golfer, veteran community supporter. It's Elizabeth Diane Veith joining us on the Course of Life. Elizabeth, how you doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. It's been a bit since we last connected. Actually, over a year, too. So there's been a lot going on in your life for sure. First off, how's everyone with the family doing, and how's the first year of motherhood going for you?
Yeah, it's going great. Everybody's doing good. My son is growing like crazy. It's really fun to watch.
Is this that moment where you just keep buying things, they keep not fitting like a couple months later? I feel like you're about to get to that stage.
Oh, yeah. Yep. We may or may not have bought him some like baby golf clubs, and he's already grown out of those. So we had to like get him another golf club. So yeah, it's he's growing like crazy. But yes, it fits for about a day, and then it doesn't fit the next day.
That's good. We're fast tracking him to the path in golf, which I love to see. So congrats on all of that in life. And as far as being a creator yourself, like I mentioned, you got to go to an interesting event that just happened this past weekend, about a week and a half ago for when our listeners are tuned in. Lots of golf creators are involved in content, but a lot of the events that we see with golf content creators, they're typically, hand picking exactly who they want there. Tell me a little bit about this event and how it was different and how it all came to be for you.
Yeah. So the Golf Creator Open, it was an amazing event. So it was put together very quickly by, two folks that were really wanting to change how creators came together in the golf space. To your point, a lot of events that I've been to in the past are brands either handpicking influencers or even, sites handpicking influencers to say, hey, we want you to create content. Here's the mission. Here's the vision. This was completely different. It was, we want to have a collaboration of creators together and really build networks between the creators. So it was really fun. It was really cool. Everybody was really awesome to meet. And the one thing that I noticed that was different from the other creator events that I've been to is everybody was willing to, be collaborating with you, whether it was a video, a picture, just talking about, hey, this is what I'm doing in the space. Whereas some other events, it's been very much they're trying to promote themselves or they're trying to promote, the brand or the site that we're at. So it was really refreshing to actually see a different side of creators and be able to connect with them. I felt like I had a lot more in common with these group of creators than creators in the past, just because they're very similar to me, whether it's, they're full-time working, they have a family, they're sharing how they got into golf, they're sharing their impact of golf. So it was really refreshing. But the event itself we had a scramble event, which was more of just, some fun, just to get out there, shoot some content. And then we had a competitive stroke play event where there was net and gross awards awarded, which was really fun.
Wow. So two different golf events. And I saw there was like a party the night before. I was curious about this because admittedly, if you want to be cynical, you're like, man, this whole thing got planned in like a really short amount of time, but it seemed like logistically it went off pretty well.
Yeah, it was great. Kudos to Kristen Esteban. It's been amazing what they have put together in regards to the short amount of time. I'm going to be honest, I was a little bit skeptical in regards to logistics. I was like, oh gosh, we threw this together. We're going to see how this goes. But no, they had it planned down to a T. It was amazing. They had the VIP the night before. Which all of the funds that we raised that night went to Warriors for Golf. So, of course, it's a veteran organization getting veterans into the game of golf, which, I'm very passionate about. So it was an awesome event, awesome cause, and it was just great to be able to connect.
So there was a scramble, and then there was also an event in the afternoon as well, too. Tell me, who you played with and how the day went for you out on the course.
Yeah, so I got to play with Kelly, who is the world long drive champion as of about 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
She was my partner in this scramble. Yeah, it was awesome. It was
That's
so
a great
cool
person to play a scramble with. In case anyone's wondering,
Yes.
Someone who's in long drive, usually going to be good for a scramble team.
Yes, I think we used we used 0 of my tee shots, to be honest with you. I was going to say we might have used 1, but nope, we didn't. It was great. It was awesome to have her on the team. I got to pick her brain about the struggles that she had in regards to getting to that point of winning that title, of battling some things from an athlete standpoint, what her training schedule looked like. So it was very cool to sit with her and to really talk through what her schedule looks like, what she's doing. She's based in Canada, so it's really cool to hear, what she's doing for her job, and then how she's balancing training for something like that and being a professional athlete. So that was awesome. And then we had the stroke play event, which our group got kind of a little scrambled, pardon the pun, but I'm going to use it, which we actually had 2 individuals, 2 ladies that were not able to play in the stroke play event. So it became a girls golf 2 is their handle, but it is 2 individuals that are trying to get women into golf. And
Nice.
I golfed with the Orlando golfer, and then it's Connected Looper is his handle, but he is a caddy at Cabot. So it was really cool to see, have our group kind of come and form organically, because we literally took the, A tee time and the B tee time at that hole, and we just kind of smushed them together. But it was such a fun group to play with, amazing people. And we are, even talking about trying to get back together again here soon, because it was that much fun.
Yeah, and I like seeing the presence of the women there and the female influencers who are holding it down and showing off their games as well too. And you actually got to connect with Piff and Peyton, who were the media hosts. Piff was last week's guest on the Course of Life, and I got to meet her earlier this year because she's a fellow Texan. But what was it like hanging out with the other lady creators there as well?
Yeah, it was amazing. Once again, I feel like, as I mentioned, it was easier to connect with these creators than in past events, because the event was set up for that to happen. It wasn't that we were going out and promoting, of course, yes, we were promoting the actual event, but it was amazing. Piff and all of the ladies are just absolutely, they're amazing. Like, I don't know what other word to use other than amazing. I know I keep saying that. But really, they are just outstanding individuals. They're great to connect with, not only from a media standpoint, but also from a golf standpoint. And, we've been talking and chatting back and forth in regards to how we get the ladies back together, maybe do kind of a ladies event or like a ladies just trip with all of us, because it is awesome to see all the creators actually supporting one another. And we all come from different backgrounds. We all bring different things to the table, and being able to just, even play 9 holes together, 18 holes together, have some commonality, outside of our love of the game of golf. It's been really, really cool. And I would say I've got some new golf friends out of this event.
Definitely something that I'm going to add to my itinerary for the next year round, because I'm sure there's going to be more iterations of it in the future. And it seems like really the biggest takeaway, which I was going to ask you, is that, you found the network of creators who have that kind of same hunger to get out there and do it like you, it seemed.
Yeah, definitely. I would say that was, the difference. It's not just hey, I have this as my full-time job, or hey, this has been easy for me to do. It's very much we are all striving to, share our passion of the game, whether that's balancing a full-time career and doing that on the side, or, doing this full-time, and making sure that everybody's, understanding, hey, we love the game of golf and we're all trying to grow it.
Definitely. Yeah. You're a great example of how there's many different ways for a woman at any age to get involved in the game too, no matter what their level of play is well too. And I like that you showcase the different women themed events that you participate in on your Instagram. Let's talk about the Perry Park Pine Cone and introduce people to that event that you got to play in with your gal pals. Tell me a little bit about how that event comes together and what you enjoy most about that tournament.
Yeah, so it is one of my favorite tournaments of the year. There are, it's a member guest. So there are 2 members. So myself and another member, and then 2 guests that play. We all play as a foursome for 2 days. So it is an awesome event because not only do we get to coordinate outfits, dress up and things like that, but we're also raising money for an amazing cause. So we raised about $17,000 for Make-A-Wish Foundation in Colorado through that event. So awesome. There's certain raffles, there's certain things that, you can, closest to the pin, you can play cash games, all of that goes to Make-A-Wish, which is amazing. So not only is it super fun to get out there with those ladies for, 2 days and have different formats those 2 days. One is a scramble, one is actually evens and odds. So you take 2 balls on the evens, you take 3 balls or 3 scores on the odd holes. So it's just a fun way to get out there and to be able to spend 2 days together, which is great.
Yeah, I got to hear who in the group is planning the outfits. I know you must have some say in it, but how do the outfits get determined for the event?
Yeah, so for the Pinecone, outside of a couple other events, we actually coordinate them all together. So we have our signature, which is all black. And regardless of if it's 95
That's like the
degrees,
Gary Player look. I like that.
Yes, 100% Gary Player look, all black. We did have somebody design hats for us this year, so that we all had matching hats. And then there's one hat that we had from the years past, which it says, "No one cares what you shot." It's a G4 hat. And we usually wear that the first or the second day because there's a lot of these women that are really just amped up about like, oh, I shot this, or, oh, we're coming in this place. And, we're very competitive and we do try to each year, get some hardware. But really, we're out there having fun. So we always wear that hat. So it's mainly coordinated around all black and then something with that red hat that we usually do. So it was red, white, and blue this year, all black. And then we made custom hats, which I'm sure are going to show up again next year.
Nice. Love that. It's Elizabeth_Diane 22 if you want to check out the photos on Instagram from the event. And it seems like you play in a good amount of those fun member guest style events. What's the rest of the summer been like for you, and how's the golfing weather been there in Colorado?
Yeah, so I've actually had 2 other member guests, if you can believe it or not. So one at another course down south, which is a similar format to the Pinecone, which is 4 ladies golfing 2 days together. That was awesome. They went a little bit harder in the decor than we usually do at Perry Park. That's my club. Yeah. They decorated carts. It was awesome. So we had a cart decorating party where literally we had tassels. You were driving your tassels on the front. You had signs on the front.
That's commitment.
It was all country club themed. So, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's commitment to the cause for sure. I feel like I saw that this summer, like around a lake I stayed at, like in the holidays, they decorate their carts for like July 4th or Labor Day. This is like the golf version of that.
Yes, 1000%. I mean, we even had some teams that had like blow up flamingos like on top of their cart. It was crazy. Like these women went all out. So that was super fun. And so we played pretty well in that one. And then we had another member guest, which once again, it's all about the outfits this summer it has been, which was boots, bling, and birdies. So it was a Western theme. And got to actually spend the day with 3 of my guests that I brought to my course, playing just a fun round. We had different games on each hole. We wore cowboy hats. We wore, skirts. I haven't posted those pictures yet. They're coming. But yeah, it was a super fun event. So yeah, the summer has been filled with a lot of member guests, a lot of different tournaments, a lot of fun, and, getting to the weather, which is my least favorite topic at the moment. It is definitely fall here for sure. We had a day yesterday where we were in the 50s. We're back in the 70s today, which is pretty much fall in Colorado.
Yeah, you guys are all over the place.
We very much are. We're all over the place, even in the day. I mean, you can have in the morning, it can be super cold and you're freezing and you need like 5 jackets. And then in the afternoon, it's beautiful. And then it cools down again when the sun sets. I am just praying and crossing my fingers that the snow, unfortunately, that is coming, is not bad this year. So I can continue to play and continue to, sharpen my game.
And once that first snow hits there, I know for you, I can see the despair in your Instagram stories.
Yes. That is when I tried to book flights to either Florida or Arizona very quickly. So.
Love that. Yeah, in Colorado, amazing golfing destination that I have not gotten to yet, but it's very, very high on my list. And you love showcasing a lot of the destinations in the area. And one of them that's very unique is the Broadmoor, which people know has hosted lots of major championships before. Annika Sorenstam famously won a U.S. Women's Open there back in the day. And they just hosted the U.S. Senior Open, which you got to check out there. Is that right? How was that?
Yes, it was awesome. So I absolutely love the Broadmoor. I have golfed there multiple times. I actually got to golf the course. I was the last round before they closed it for the tournament. So nice. It was very interesting to see what they were doing, specifically with the rough. I do have a video on my Instagram and TikTok where I literally drop a ball in the rough and it disappears.
You did the drop and disappear. I love that. That's a classic on social media.
It is very much so. It was crazy to see how the rough was. I mean, I struggled when I played getting out of it. The greens were super fast. There was one player that actually said that they were worse or harder greens than Augusta National. And I believe it. I've been to Augusta. I've seen those greens. The Broadmoor, because it is so hilly, you have the mountain effect where there's a mountain, literally Pikes Peak, everything rolls away from it. But the fun part is it's kind of in a valley. So you have the mountain effect and then you have the valley effect all at the same time on the same green. You can drop a ball literally in the middle of the green and you can drop, another ball and one will roll one way, one will roll the other. So the greens are very tricky, very, very deceiving to the eye as well. Like you can read it and it will break the other direction. So it was really cool to see how, the senior pros approached their not only short game with the rough, but then also their putts. Their putting was crazy to see. I mean, I think I saw multiple players 3-putt, sometimes even 4-putt. To the point where one of them, and I forget exactly who it was, but it was on 17 green. You've got bleachers all around. He missed a putt. He just threw his putter over there, was like, this is what we're doing today. And it was like, yep, that's the Broadmoor for you. So it was an amazing event, very, very well put on by the USGA. It was awesome to have professional golf back in Colorado and back at the Broadmoor because it's just an iconic venue. As you mentioned, the history there. Just the grounds, it's so gorgeous. And the resort there is so beautiful. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, when you see a course like that set up for a tournament and you see the greens that are that fast and sloped and you go there, I think it gives amateur golfers a lot of appreciation for just how perfect you have to hit putts for them to go in the hole correctly. And you see the pros even mess that up a lot too. So that's definitely a good learning lesson. If you haven't seen a tournament in real life, go see it at a course like that where there's like some amazing lightning fast contrasting greens.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right, Elizabeth Diane Veith joining us here on The Course of Life. Let's get to some rapid fire questions and check in with everything else going on in her life here. Real quick, I know you play a lot of golf. I know you said it was a bit of a mixed bag at the Golf Creator Open. Any highlight shot or moment from you recently there, though?
Yeah, so my 7-wood, for some reason, decided to show up. My driver did not. And it was just one of those days where, what I felt like was usually on in my game was not on. And then my 7-wood, which usually I'm like, I was really resistant to pull it. But not being at altitude, I had to play that club a lot more than I usually did. I was hitting it like no other. I mean, straight, long, far. Anytime I pulled it out, I was like, okay. I mean, to the point where about halfway through the round, I was like, do I just start teeing off with this club? Because it's working that well. So that was kind of my highlight from a game standpoint, because it was a little rough. My putting wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but I would say it was definitely an improvement from past rounds. So I was pretty happy with my 7-wood and my putting.
Nice. Let's get on to a recent fit or buy from PXG. I know we're coming up on holiday season right now. So what have you been enjoying from PXG?
Yeah, so they just came out with their fall and winter line. It is amazing. They have a new skirt it's a black skirt and it's like fluffy. I don't know how else to describe it. Nice. But it is super warm and I'm really excited to wear that specifically as we get into winter golf here.
Nice. Okay. All right. You've been doing a lot of traveling. You joke a lot about the golf baggage window that revolves at DIA. That's a big favorite in your content. How about airports, though? What's an airport you're loving and an airport you're hating recently?
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
Yeah.
So the one that I am loving recently is a really, really big shocker. It is Kansas City. It's crazy.
Never been.
They remodeled it. Yeah, they remodeled it. It is beautiful. There's a fountain in the middle. I walked into it and I was like, where am I? Because I had traveled to the past, to the Kansas City airport, and it was awful. It felt like it was honestly like kind of a jail. It was very concrete. There was no like frills. There was no nothing. I got off the plane and I was just shocked because it was completely redone. Awesome.
Good to see.
They also have an open container policy where if you buy a drink, you can walk around with it. You just have to toss it before or finish it before you get on the plane, which I'm like, okay, that's great. We can get stuck here forever.
The entire airport's the 19th hole. I love it.
It totally is 100%. So that was kind of a shock for me. And as always, I always love John Wayne flying in and out of there. From a California standpoint, it is the easiest airport in California to, get into. It's always super nice. They always have the amenities you need. So those two would be my loving ones.
Okay.
Recently, and I hate to say this, I am hating my home airport, DIA. Or the Denver airport. It is
wow. And the
awful.
Denver airport, people love talking about it on the internet. They like seeing it everywhere in their searches. What's going on there at DIA, though?
Yeah. So there's like one redeeming factor that I'll get to here in a moment that is like semi-saving it. But unfortunately, the thing that is really killing it for me is our TSA line. So I've got pre-check. If you don't have pre-check and you travel a lot, it is the best $85 I have ever spent. You keep your shoes on, you just go through the metal detector, you keep everything in your bag. And I know that recent, security has changed so that you can do that kind of in the general boarding, but it's a lot faster. It's really just premier. It just makes everything a lot better. So they actually I had a secret spot that was downstairs right by baggage claim that not a lot of people knew about. That was TSA pre-check, and it was only TSA pre-check. So I could walk in 30 minutes before my flight, go through that, walk to my gate, grab a drink in the lounge and be fine. And unfortunately they closed that. I don't know if it was due to usage or not. I've asked multiple times. Every single time I go through security now, I'm like, so is that checkpoint ever reopening? Why was it closed? I've heard mixed reviews in regards to we couldn't secure the location because it was downstairs. There wasn't enough volume through it, yada, yada, yada. I've heard every excuse, but
that's killer.
So I absolutely hate it now because it mimics LAX's security where a bin pops up and you have to wait for the next bin and it's all, automated, which I totally am for. But it seems like it is a lot less efficient because you don't have people moving as fast as they could through security.
Yeah, there's a lot of things in life that are becoming automated, but they're not more efficient than when it wasn't automated before. So that's where I start to draw the line. I think that's the common sense line that a lot of us can agree with, is that this technology to automating things is good, but if it makes things less efficient and it clogs up the lines, then yes, I can understand why that's a hazard in Denver. And in Austin, they did the same thing. You could either go left or right for TSA, but now they just aggregated all the TSA to the middle. So now it's just as long of a line TSA as it is for general boarding. Airport problems.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Your favorite seat on Southwest Airlines, the Southwest first class spot, you've got that exit row seat on the window where there's no window seat in front of you. That's a classic of yours. But where's your second favorite seat if you can't get that one?
Yeah, so if I can't get that one, I am usually right in front of it. So there's two seats in front of that seat.
Yeah.
The great part about that seat is that you have nobody next to you. You still have access to that window. So it's technically a window seat and you only have one person next to you. So it really, that's really my second favorite. But yeah, I always try to get that seat. It's a huge bummer when I don't get that seat, or if it's not possible. I've gotten pretty lucky. I'm crossing my fingers that the next couple of flights I will be able to get it. But yeah, that is, it's a bummer when I don't get it. That's the point where I'm at right now.
Yeah, no, definitely worth it indeed. You recently did a travel to a Four Seasons hotel. I wanted to shout them out because Four Seasons always very good about kind of like the little things, the extra tidbits from a hospitality standpoint. Well, I want to know if there was like a little thing or a tidbit or something that stuck out from your recent Four Seasons visit.
Yeah, so it was the Four Seasons Baltimore, and it was absolutely amazing. So I actually got a corner room where I had a harbor view and then a city view all combined. I was super late getting there. I had a delayed flight. I think I landed at like 10 p.m. I had to be up for a meeting the next morning. So I called and said, hey, I'm on my way. I know it's getting close to, midnight by the time I was going to get there. So just wanted to make sure that they knew that I was coming. So they actually put their room service menu like right out for me and literally put a note on it that said, welcome, Miss Veith. Just know that you're running late. You might not have had a chance to eat dinner. We are keeping our kitchen open until 11:30. It normally closes at 11. But if you call us by 11, we can go ahead and make sure that you have a meal for tonight, which was awesome because I had not eaten. Like I was planning to DoorDash something into the hotel. So that was huge. I mean, it was like, best service ever from a customer standpoint. So yeah, the Four Seasons definitely takes care of you for sure.
There's always something like that with that brand. So shout out to them for that. Love that. Awesome. All right, Elizabeth, you know the deal. We end with our 19th hole question. So what's been a good meal or 19th hole experience that you've had recently?
Yeah, so I had an amazing one. I'm going to go all the way back to April, but it's like sticking out that much. It was so great. So I was able to play Southern Highlands in Vegas. And they have an amazing clubhouse. And so after we went in and we had, of course, lunch and a drink, their old fashioned was out of this world. Like, I don't know what they did. I don't know what they put in it. It's kind of like a secret homemade recipe, I guess, because I asked for it and they were like, we can't tell you what it is. And I'm like, okay. That was amazing. And then I had brisket tacos there. And that was, I'm still dreaming about those brisket tacos. So it was an amazing experience all around for the 19th hole.
Love it. Yeah. Brisket taco, like the unofficial food of Austin, Texas, because we do tacos and barbecue here. So when you put them together, that's exactly what you have. It's an awesome 19th hole snack indeed. Elizabeth, thank you so much for hopping back on the Course of Life. Elizabeth_Diane22. Check her out on Instagram and TikTok as well, too. And we'll catch up with you down the road.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Big news. Sephora is now on Uber Eats. So if you find yourself facing a beauty emergency, like needing a last-minute gift, or you're just out of your favorite mascara, again, don't panic. We got you. Order now and get $10 off on Sephora orders of $50 or more on the Uber Eats app. Order now. Offer ends October 30th. One order per customer. Additional terms apply. See app for availability. Delivery fees may apply.
Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
Course of Life podcast is brought to you by Zencastr. We've been using Zencastr here since almost the very beginning as how Alex and I record this podcast from hundreds of miles away. And it provides us with great quality audio that works every time. And it's something that makes Course of Life what it is and has kept us being able to make consistent episodes every week. And now it's super easy to record a podcast with Zencastr. You log in using your browser and start recording a high quality podcast right away. You record studio quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests. You feel a sense of zen, knowing Zencastr's multi-layered backups ensure you always have your recordings in the highest quality, even if the connection is unstable. And have you ever wondered what you actually sound like? Zencastr's post-production process makes you sound buttery smooth. It automatically removes those ums and ahs in your recording. It removes those awkward pauses in conversation too. Set the right podcast loudness and levels while reducing background noise with the click of a button. Head on over to zencastr.com/pricing and use our promo code CourseOfLife to get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. We want you to have the same easy experiences we do for all of your podcasting and content needs. Again, that's zencastr.com/pricing and our promo code CourseOfLife. Zencastr, it's time to share your story.
This episode is brought to you by Nature's Bounty. Nature's Bounty believes your body is brilliant, naturally designed to thrive, inside and out. For those always looking for new ways to support your health from head to heels, Nature's Bounty has a range of over 400 vitamins and supplements born from 50 years of trust and care. Nature's Bounty. It's in your nature. Visit naturesbounty.com to learn more.
It's the Smucker's Uncrustables podcast with your host, Uncrustables. Okay, today's guest is rough around the edges. Please welcome Crust.
Thanks for having me.
Today's topic, he's round with soft, pillowy bread.
Hey.
Filled with delicious PB&J.
Are you talking about yourself?
And you can take him anywhere.
Why'd you invite?
And we are out of time.
Are you really cutting me off?
Uncrustables are the best part of the sandwich. Sorry, Crust.
And we're back. Great chat there with Elizabeth. Love to hear everything going on in her life. The updates with the baby boy.
Yeah.
Halloween costumes coming.
Yeah, I know. It's that time of year. You gotta dress the kid up for the first few Halloweens, because this is before they actually have a say in what they are.
This is when they're cute.
Yeah. So she's gonna go with the cowboy costume, I heard. And she's also got some sort of like little baby kind of Tigger costume. I told her, I was like, hey, Tiger, you guys got the Masters gear. You're thinking about doing the Masters Halloween. I mean, I know a golfer that did well at Augusta. His name was Tiger Woods. So that costume writes itself right there.
Mm-hmm. It does indeed. Well, if you like that conversation with Elizabeth, plus everything else we do here on this podcast, make sure you punch that subscribe button on the podcast app you're using right now. Leave us a rating. Let us know that not only do you listen, but you also think something of us. Literally anything.
No. Your opinion is yours, and you're entitled to it, and you can spray it at us if you want. We're brave enough. We can handle it.
In fact, I would love to have a 1-star review with comments posted on our website that I can share. Something like,
I dare 1,000 people listening right now to give us 1-star reviews. I dare 1,000.
I have no idea how these guys are still doing this after so long. There's no reason for it. It'd be hilarious. You can also make sure you're checking us out on YouTube. Every once in a while, Alex does his interviews with video, including this one with Elizabeth. So if you check out our YouTube channel, like a couple days after, you'll see a video up on there. So you can look at Alex's ugly face and our guest, in this case, Elizabeth's much nicer looking face.
Yeah, they generally are. I mean, if you just run through the recent guests, head to head, I don't know how I'm going to stack up in terms of an attractiveness competition there. Yeah, that's a tough look for me.
Look, so. You're married. You don't need to take care of yourself anymore.
A face for radio, as they say.
If you have a face for radio, what do I have?
Yeah, there you go.
All right, let's get to everything else going on in the world of sports. Let's talk the WNBA. The season is over. The Las Vegas Aces take the title, third time in 4 years.
That's a dynasty right there.
It is.
That's a repeat button. You actually just took your voice from a year ago and just plugged that in there, didn't you? Yeah, the Aces are the true dynasty in the WNBA. Would like to see what the next season holds for Caitlin Clark and the Fever. The team without her had a good run, so maybe that all gets put together and we have a Fever Aces final next year. I'd like to speak that into existence.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I'd go see that for sure. Over on the NBA, they're starting out their preseason games. They're going. But the big news, of course, is LeBron James is out for at least 3 to 4 weeks.
Oh, well, that's not good, seeing as the season starts in hours from now. So
that's with what was it, sciatica, whatever that is, sciatica. I don't really know what that is, but he has it, and he's going to be reevaluated in 3 to 4 weeks. So if he's okay in 3 to 4 weeks, it's at least 1 to 2 weeks before he can actually start playing again, right?
Yep,
so
the LeBron soap opera continues.
Yeah. So 4 to 6 weeks at least until he's back.
And this is the guy that duped us a week ago, saying he's got the ultimate decision. So we all have appointment television set last week for his decision, thinking he's going to say something like, "This is my last season in the NBA," or "I am taking on this sort of ownership response." No. It was just a sponsorship for Hennessy. LeBron James hyped everyone up just to sell some more liquor. So that's where he's at in his career.
You know what? Pardon my French, but fuck you, LeBron. That's all I have to say about that. Other things starting, the NHL season has started. Go Bruins. Fast, but the real thing is college hockey is back.
That's right. People, we're big college hockey fans. Refresher, everyone out there. We went to Quinnipiac University, college hockey powerhouse. So this is the time of year where we have to start beating the drum right now.
2023 men's ice hockey Division I national champions.
True. And it's 92 degrees right now in Austin, Texas. But you're trying to convince me that I've got hockey to watch right now? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
It's hockey season, especially since this weekend we are hosting number 7 Maine.
The Black Bears from Orono, sure.
Huge weekend at the Bank in Hampton, Connecticut. So big weekend. We are currently ranked. We're recording a little early. It's a Sunday evening. We're currently like the number 8th team in the nation, I think.
Okay. Nice.
And we're going up at number 7 Maine. We'll see how those rankings change on Monday when the rankings come out after record time, but it'll probably be pretty similar.
Yeah, and for anyone out there who's wondering about Quinnipiac, just that bank that you referenced, the bank,
the M&T Bank Arena,
dual stadium, basketball and hockey. Google the images right now if you've never seen it. Atop York Hill, views out to the Long Island Sound.
Amazing.
I would put it up against a lot of the winter sports stadiums in the region as one of the more beautiful destinations to see a game. So excited to have action back there.
It is gorgeous. The whole campus is gorgeous. And the shadow is sleeping giant, literally a giant asleep under the mountain.
We were spoiled indeed. Yeah.
We were spoiled with that. But every time I talk about how spoiled we are, my wife reminds me that her alma mater, Virginia Tech, serves the best food in the nation, and she can have steak and lobster every night.
Yeah, listen, our calf, it had its moments of brilliance, but overall it was very mediocre. I'm not really going to tout it too hard compared to other college food I've seen.
Wasn't that
but we never lost a football game at Quinnipiac. That I do know.
We are undefeated still in college football. Best team in the nation right here. Never lost a game. Which is great. Let's talk about college football because they another wild and crazy weekend as usual going on out there. Let's start at the Texas State Fair. Texas versus Oklahoma, Red River rivalry. Man, it sucks to be Oklahoma right now.
I couldn't believe this because this Texas team has very little form. Arch Manning looked like, let's just say it, complete garbage for the first month of the season.
Garbage.
Hot garbage. And they came out of nowhere with a performance that I wasn't ready for. I was saying to myself all day that this game's always close no matter what form these teams have. But the Horns very dominant, predominantly on D and special teams, but Arch Manning definitely turning a small corner and kind of a season-saving win for UT there at the Texas State Fair.
Pretty big for them. The other big win is a team that, right, you said Indiana is like not really here. A couple weeks ago.
I have been poo-pooing Indiana for the better part of a year and a half now.
And they just became the first team in like 50,000 years to go into Oregon and beat Oregon.
I did not have this. I bet Oregon. I was on Oregon all week.
Yeah.
And I did not have the Hoosiers going in there and winning the way they did with authority too. Not on a walk-off by any means. No cardiac, a 10-point victory. One of the better wins in that program's history. And yes, they are now officially for real. Like Indiana, Ohio State, we're going to be checking our calendars for when that is, and they're going to be a playoff team to be reckoned with.
There you go. USC beating up on Michigan, 31-13.
Yep. James Franklin fired from Penn State, Michael.
Yeah.
I know you'll appreciate this. $56 million total buyout that he's getting. Boy, it pays to be a crappy college football coach, doesn't it?
We said this last week. I could be a crappy coach.
We went through the buyouts.
Not hard.
Jimbo Fisher's was 77. That's still the record. Yep. James Franklin now going to get paid $56 million to just sit at home and watch football.
How much next week for Bill to get bought out?
Yep. That's the next buyout is Bill Belichick. Perfect segue. The rumors swirling like crazy down in Chapel Bill. Chapel Bill is close to being in ruins. It's a ticking time bomb through 5 games. Lo and behold, he took his bye week off and went on a vacation with Jordan Hudson to Nantucket. Didn't do any recruiting at all. There's player mistreatment. There's players selling tickets, allegedly. There could be violations coming down the pipeline. It's an absolute shit show there. It's a matter of time. I didn't think it would unravel this fast. I thought we'd get through one full campaign maybe before it did, but I don't even know if we're going to get through the season. I really actually think it's a coin flip if he makes it to the end of October. Really.
I mean, if he's bought out, look, where is he going to go? I don't see a college team wanting to take him now. The NFL is done with him.
I think, honestly, the actual realistic landing spot right now is just being a consultant for a other college or NFL team, just sitting up in the box, not even on the sideline, just literally office in the corner, watch film, tell me what you think about XYZ matchup, just so he can say he's part of an organization. I'm sure there's some friend in the NFL that will let him have a role like that, but I can't really see it being on the sidelines in the near future.
Or is he going to become the Nick Saban of like Fox Sports? And
the media was a thing for him. You remember last year he was doing a gazillion shows and podcasts.
Yeah.
While he was sitting on the sidelines, so he could revisit that
that's
too.
That's possible. Speaking of things falling apart, it's kind of the opposite direction. I mean, Colorado won a game, but Colorado's having issues too because Deion Sanders is out there telling kids to storm the field. They're calling the Mormons ugly names like they did a couple weeks ago. Not as great out there in Colorado.
I feel like this is sneaky, one of those things where Deion Sanders is like slowly trying to shoot his way out of town now that his kids are gone and they've moved on. Like that's kind of the theory I'm running with, is that like he knows he can get another job in Division I and he's like kind of done with the whole Colorado thing. It kind of feels like a bit of a mission accomplished. Like he got his son in the NFL. He got Travis Hunter the number 1 pick. It's like
he retired his son's number.
Yeah. So I mean, like I don't know. Yeah, weird vibes there in Boulder.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. All right, let's talk about the NFL Week 6. Let's do a couple highs here. We got a couple highs that we can talk about.
And it's us again. We keep pinching ourselves because you and I are bringing gleeful NFL Sunday recaps to the podcast.
Let's start with your Patriots, 4-2, sitting atop the AFC East.
They will be. It's just a matter of moments. The Bills are scared. They're petrified. They're trembling. And the Pats have put together a 3-game winning streak. Oh, my God. I just said the Pats have put together a 3-game winning streak.
Yep.
Haven't said that in years. And they have their QB. That's the thing, is like you're starting to feel the moments of what that's like. But football on the weekends suddenly becomes a little more palpable to watch, win or loss, when you know that you've got a guy at the helm that can make plays and win games.
Yep.
And we've got that in Drake May. So yeah, 4-2, exciting times. I'm pinching myself, long way to go, but exciting motion and momentum in Foxborough.
Yep. There you go. My Giants, huge Thursday night win over the Super
Defending
Bowl
world
champion Eagles, 34-17.
Yeah.
Even a potential concussion would not stop the Giants.
Yes, I know. You got Dart going off the sidelines and coming back on, being the hero. And then Cam Skattebo. We've mentioned this name when he was at Arizona State in the playoffs last year. But he's basically just your battering ram running back. I just got the comparison, which is perfect. He's like the running back version of Rob Gronkowski. He's just a complete doofus that doesn't know left from right. He just knows football and going downfield towards the end zone and don't get in his way. So you got a dog in him. And you, like I said, you've got that feeling where you potentially got a quarterback that can win games for you just on his own. So that's a nice vibe for the New York Giants.
Yeah, there you go. I want to talk about a couple lows in the NFL because we couldn't talk about the Giants or the Patriots, so we got to have something in there to help balance this out here. I want to start with the Jets, that other team in New York.
Yes.
0-6 on the season. They had a negative 10 yards out of the passing game.
That's
on Sunday.
That's hard. That's difficult to obtain.
They had like 45 yards of passing, but a negative 55 yards in sacks.
Oh no. You hate to hear stats like that when you're an NFL team that's playing every week.
A cumulative negative 10 yards for QB production.
Yeah, 0-6 Jets just find new ways to be miserable.
I also we need to talk about the Chiefs.
Yeah, the previous week one recording before the night game result, but last week was something in and of itself as well too.
Yeah, losing horrifically to the Jags last week.
Yeah,
this is something the Chiefs don't do. Okay,
and listen, I'm the Mr. Dynasty guy. I watched a team that looks like the Chiefs for 20 years, but it didn't look like this in games like that. In games like that, in primetime spots, Tom Brady be driving that team down, winning that game, finding a way to pull away. This Chiefs team seems a little bit flawed. Again, still, they've been to 3 Super Bowls in a row. I'm absolutely not taking that away from them. But yeah, something just feels a little bit off with that team right now.
I mean, So I think it's that Travis Kelce is probably going to retire after this season because he's getting married and Taylor's not going to want him playing anymore and getting hurt.
Yeah, they are, let's see, 0-1 since the Life of a Showgirl release.
Oh, they're like the Boilermakers. They can't win after a Taylor Swift release. Be interesting. All right, let's. I don't really want to talk baseball.
Yankees lose, courtesy of David Ortiz. My gosh. The only thing I'll celebrate that makes me feel low as a human being, I don't often celebrate the loss of a team I hate. I usually try and focus all my energy towards the wins of teams I like, but this is the one I can't help myself from. Your Yankees did go down in the NLDS. No ALCS in the cards for them.
Yeah, and I was saying this midseason that Aaron Boone has to go during that collapse that looked like was happening for the Yankees.
Yeah. I guess what didn't happen from a managerial and team standpoint against the Blue Jays, the Yankees? What didn't happen there?
How many mistakes did Aaron Boone make?
Yeah.
The problem is he's under contract for like another season, and and it's like, at what point will they just say, are we content? Is New York content with not winning World Series championships? Is that because that's what it seems like over the last 10 years? Okay,
right, and
you have Aaron Judge, arguably not just the best player of his generation, but probably will go down as one of the top 5 best players of all time.
He could statistically, yeah,
and he may never win a World Championship with the Yankees.
Yeah, he had that one moment in Game 3 of the series, but besides that game-tying home run,
he had production. The bottom of the 9th inning of Game 4, he got an RBI. He did the right thing. It's just that the rest of that team couldn't do anything.
Yeah, they were outmatched indeed. And now it's going to be the Blue Jays playing the Mariners. Very fresh blood in the Final Four, notwithstanding the Dodgers. I'm definitely in that mode that I think 80 to 90% of America is, where they look at the Final Four teams. You see the Brewers, the Dodgers, the Mariners, and the Blue Jays. And you think to yourself, I'll pretty much take any of those 3 teams that aren't named the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Which is funny because I'm sure Major League Baseball is like, please have the Dodgers in this World Series. Because there's, I am all in on the Brewers and Mariners making this happen. This is what I want to see. I want to see the Brew Crew and the Mariners.
Yeah.
And like the MLB is probably shaking in their boots at the possibility of this kind of small market happening.
Yeah. Love myself some Milwaukee, but that is not a large market by any standard at all.
And what would make it even worse, obviously, is that you have a central time zone team and a West Coast team.
Oh, true.
And really, probably if they have to pick, they probably want Toronto and LA, because then you can get some games on East Coast time.
True that. Yeah. All right, we'll see.
We'll see what happens. All right, let's hashtag always end with food.
Yep, that's right. Always end with food on Instagram. Time for the 19th hole content. I'm just scrolling through some of the new stuff that was at the State Fair, Texas this year, where the Texas-Oklahoma game was being played.
I've been to one of those before. I've been to the Texas State Fair.
Well, I'll just name some and we'll get your 1 to 3 word reaction here. How about churro cheesecake jalapeno poppers?
Is that one item or multiple
That's one
items? So I'm cool with playing with sweet savory.
Yep.
The spicy end is what's throwing me off.
Yeah, that's a bit much. I know that scares me. The combination scares me a little bit. Here's something that everyone can get on board with. How about a decadent Dubai chocolate dream? Like a nice little kind of ice cream sundae. Ooh, it's got all sorts of flavors in there. Dubai chocolate chip cookie.
That'd be good.
Pistachio kataifi, marshmallow, chocolate, secret ingredients. Everybody's
You know
luxury.
what's funny is that I've not gotten a Dubai chocolate bar yet, and I don't think it's not on the diet for sure, but I feel like I have to go get one just to try it because but there's so many out there. I want a good one.
Right. They'll fry anything at the Texas State Fair. How about deep fried carbonara? That's right. We're just deep frying a pasta dish and putting it in breading here.
I mean, it's possible because you could.
Yes.
What would you do? You would freeze it probably, and then you would batter it and fry it, and it would thaw, so it would be like you could do that.
They do everything here. Take a look at bigtex.com if you want to take a look at the wild list of Texas State Fair foods. And then I have a Halloween candy review for you. We're a couple weeks out, and I don't know if you saw, but there is a Snickers pumpkin-shaped candy on the market for Halloween. You know, Reese's dominates the market with their pumpkin-shaped
Well, Reese's got sued for that, right? So
they did, yeah. So I tried the pumpkin-shaped Snickers. It's great in taste, but here's the thing is kind of, that there's a certain height to Snickers. You know, you need a little bit of height to get the layers, the caramel, the nut, the nougat, and everything in between. And the pumpkin is just not quite tall enough. So I think you get shortchanged on the actual filling inside the Snickers pumpkin. Tasty, but 7 out of 10 for that reason.
Which is funny because like a Reese's pumpkin has a lot of peanut butter.
Yeah, so they just kind of missed the boat there with the Snickers pumpkin. But try it for yourself if you see it in the stores.
Are you putting candy? Have you got your candy for Halloween yet?
Not quite. No, I got some just selfishly Halloween themed Reese's, but we'll make that decision in the next week or two.
I'm now starting to think that since I'm on a diet, I should just hand out like raw broccoli and cauliflower.
Yes. I famously had a neighbor that would put candy out, but in the candy bowl, he would also put like kind of like crackers, like little cracker packs, and then he would just put apples in there as well too.
I mean, a little bit for everybody.
It's a nice balance, I have to say.
Yeah.
Indeed. That's always End with Food and a wrap on this week's Course of Life podcast. If you made it this far, be sure to subscribe right now, and we'll see you next week.